I don't mean to say this like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is, some people are gonna think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why, people of color and specifically the Black community have been relentlessly persecuted. Like, I mean, just the things that happened during slavery alone, like, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about Black history and the ways that, people who literally worked in the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the Black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just racism? Because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if Black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born something with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe, like I said, these people, these rich people and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to, like, get rid of them, blah blah blah. I don't know, I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about, that is linked to them being people of color. And I've seen some Black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties. But I don't know, I just feel like I feel like this, I have this theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot of us realize, because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something special about them that they don't want us to know. Okay, this is just something that I've been thinking about recently, and I'm like, maybe if there are some Black creators that maybe they already made a video and I just didn't see it, I don't know, but like, I don't know, maybe this sounds dumb. Like, or maybe this is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but it's just something I was thinking about.
It has been the Caucasians that have been in charge of the scriptures, right? For millennia. Lamentations 5:10. Our skin was black like an oven. Job 30 verse 30. My skin is black upon me and my bones are burned with heat. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And Yahweh shall bring you into Mitzrayim, Egypt again, with ships. And the way of which I said to you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for slaves and female slaves, and no man shall buy you. And that is what happened to the regal class of the house of Judah. And I want to give you a brief history. I won't go into it too much, but I can't just make that statement because there'll be people that will push back. But I want to give you a brief history on slavery. I was just amazed, I got to tell you. I mean, when you come to America and you talk to people about slavery, you can talk to Black people about slavery, white people about slavery, and they'll give you all this history on slavery, and it only goes back to the 16th and the 17th century. And you're like, don't they teach you the history of slavery? Why? Ask the bloody question. Why are they only teaching you the history of slavery as far back as the 16th and the 17th century? Why are they only going that far back? Because they don't want you to go farther back than that, because then you'll actually find out the truth. But from the 16th and 17th century, we'll teach you about slavery. You've got to go further back. And you've got to understand and question, why do they do this throughout the whole of America, in all the public schools? Why do they only go back as far as the 16th and the 17th century to talk about slavery? We've got to go further back than that. Because Islam designed infernal slavery. And then the Ashkenazi Khazars Those who say they are Jews and are not are the ones that marketed it, and the regal Negro nomads exiled from the kingdom of Judah were the main recipients of it at the hands of the indigenous black Africans. Because you've got to understand, the regal class of the house of Judah came down from Israel, and they came into the land of the black Africans. And the black Africans resented the regal class of the house of Judah in their land because they had laws, they had customs, they had civility. And they were a regal class of Negro that came down into Africa. And later on, it was the Ashkenazi, the Islamic slave traders as well, that then worked together with the indigenous black Africans to enslave the regal house of Judah. This is what we've got to understand, but you've got to go back before the 16th century to understand the roots of it.
All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. Okay, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem V'chakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that's scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Barak Thumb. All right. So the name of this lesson is it something more than just racism? All right. Is it something more than just racism? And the short answer to that is yes. All right, you seen that video that I showcased, you know what I'm saying, at the beginning. All right. The short answer is yes. There's more to it than that. All right, but only a few can give you the long answer. All right? And the young lady was right in the video, you know what I'm saying? There's a far greater reason to the consistent aggression that you see. You know what I'm saying? The aggression, the disdain, the vitriol, all right? That's all aimed at so-called people of color, all right? As they call us. Okay, the average so-called white person can't tell you why they feel the way that they do, okay? If you ask somebody on the street, you know what I'm saying? You ask somebody who's at, you know, one of the Klan rallies, so on and so forth. If you ask them this question, why, they can't tell you why. You know what I'm saying? They can't tell you why, other than the surface level stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like the woman said, it's much deeper than that. It's got to be, and it's true. It's true. Melanin may have a portion in this discussion. I'm not discounting that, or going to discount that. Excuse me. I'm not discounting that in any way. It definitely has a part to play, but it's by no wise the greatest reason. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yes, melanin has very powerful portions or properties, if you will, aside from making your skin brown. All right, melanin also slows the visible aging in the skin. You know what I'm saying? All right. For example, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell that Denzel Washington is 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't tell that. It's hard for people to tell that Michael Jai White is close to 60 years old. And Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is, I think she's she's inching towards 70 years old, I think. I think she's in her late 60s now. So, yeah. So she's reaching close to 70, and yes, she still looks very good for her age. All right? But that's one of the things that melanin does. Okay? When you look at the bark of a tree, what causes the tree's bark to be brown is melanin. You know what I'm saying? Melanin has a natural property of absorbing ultraviolet rays, You know what I'm saying? And our skin absorbs the vitamin D from those rays. All right? So having melanin in your skin is fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the answer to this riddle. All right? It's not the answer to this riddle, man. The answer is found in the scriptures. All right? And the only ones that can give you the answers are the prophets and the super elite families of the world. You see what I'm saying? Only the prophets, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down of Great Millstone, and the elite families of the world. We're talking about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers. All right? We're talking about these people. Okay? Like we say all the time, there's a priesthood on the right-hand side and there's a priesthood on the left-hand side. All right? And they are privy to this information as much as we the prophets are. You see what I'm saying? And what the world is witnessing right now, pretty much, it's a stage. The world is witnessing an age-long feud between two brothers, man. All right? And those brothers are Jacob and his older twin brother Esau. Okay? And in order to get the understanding as to what's happening today, we have to go to the beginning of this struggle, man. And that's, again, recorded in the scriptures. So bear with me. All right? So let's start this at the beginning. Let's go to Genesis chapter 25. Start at verse 19. It reads, "And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahweh for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels." Let me show you real quick. All right, you can see in the middle 2 children struggling within the womb, right? So it says, "And 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people." So these two sons would be completely different from each other, and they would represent 2 entirely different nations within one womb. All right? "And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." All right? "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. All right. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay. And the boys grew, And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Right? Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. All right? And keep in mind, Edom means red. Okay? Verse 32, And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. All right. Now let's jump down. Let's go to chapter 27. Okay. Chapter 27, verse 1. It reads, And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, and thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. All right? And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. To this very day, all right, to this very day, Edomites, they love to hunt. And in particular, they love to hunt venison, which is deer meat. All right, so this is a sign that you would see. All right, one of the indications of who is who in these last days. All right, the Edomites are hunters, very cunning hunters. All right, they know how to make proper calls that would lure prey to them. You see what I'm saying? And they're very particular about hunting deers. All right. So let me continue on, verse 5. And Rebekah heard what Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bring thee before the Lord, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. All right. Jumping down to verse 26. It reads, And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. All right, kissed him on his cheek. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he, Slakia, blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he said, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came in subtly, and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? Because Jacob in the Hebrew is Yaiqua, which means supplanter, all right, or joker, who was able to be like a trickster, if you will, right? So it says, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, all right, which if you read earlier, he sold his birthright, didn't he? So Jacob didn't take the birthright. He sold that. But it says, these 2 times he took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou not one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice, and he wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. All right. So, this is the beginning of what we see in the world today. All right. As a result of the blessing Isaac had gave Esau, his descendants, the Edomites, have gained world dominion through his proficiency in weaponry. Let me show you. All right. This is how the Edomites, the descendants of Esau, Edom, have gained the world's dominion. He gained it through the sword, just like his father Isaac said he would. All right. He said that you will live by the sword. Okay. And his sword has evolved throughout the years. And now he has the greatest in proficiency in that weapon. Now you know the modern day sword is the gun. All right. He has fighter jets. He has stealth bombers. You see what I'm saying? He has all these weapons of modern warfare. And this is how he has gained control over the planet. You see? However, his world conquest was only meant to be temporary. All right? His world conquest was only meant to be temporary. Jacob's blessing of world dominion is meant to be eternal. Let's go here. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 9. Bear with me. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verse 7. It reads, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right now, we're at the end of the world. Literally, we are on the cusp or the precipice of World War III, the final war that will end all wars. Esau's kingdom is falling apart. You see? And so it's only a matter of time before he loses it all. All right, to this day, to this very day, the descendants of Jacob and Esau continue to fight each other. All right? It's a constant struggle back and forth between these two brothers, these twins. Right? These are the descendants of Jacob today. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. You see what I'm saying? This has been their plight throughout the years, throughout the centuries. When Esau broke off the yoke from his brother Jacob, what did he do? He brought hell on the tribes. You see? This is what Esau has done to his little brother Jacob. Right? These are the 12 tribes of Jacob. You have Benjamin, so-called West Indians. You have Puerto Ricans, the Ephraimites, the so-called Puerto Ricans. You have the Manassites, so-called Cubans, Asherites, so-called Colombians to Uruguayans, Simeons, all right, the Simeonites, the so-called Dominicans, the Reubenites, so-called Seminole Indians, Levites, so-called Haitians, Naphtalites, so-called Argentinian to Chilean, the Gadites, so-called Native Americans, Zebulonites, so-called Guatemalans to Panamanians. You have the Judites, so-called Negroes, American Negroes. And then you have the Issacharites, so-called Mexicans. These are 12 tribes of one family who descend from the nation of Israel. All right? Because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Esau's name was changed to Edom. Okay? The elite families know who we are. And they know that we've been scattered all around the world. All right? They know that we're in every country. We're hidden amongst every nation. We even look like them. And we talk like them. You see what I'm saying? There are Israelites all around the world. Okay? Let me get this real quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 26. It reads, I said I would scatter them into corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. All right? So the Israelites have been hidden for a long time. Even though these Edomites have a good grasp of where we are. All right, and throughout the years, they have been doing this to us, man. As you've heard the lady in the video, she had expressed that the CIA, the FBI, you know what I'm saying, all of these different agencies have done their worst to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, man. All right? When you see the crack epidemic, when they're the ones who brought these substances into the communities, when you see what happened to the Gadites, you know what I'm saying, to the Reubenites, all right, when you heard about the Trail of Tears, okay, and pushing them onto these reservations, when you've heard about the Devil's Punch Bowl, all right, when you see what they've done to the Ishkarites over in Mexico, look at what they're doing to them right now. You see? So as I speak, you know what I'm saying, as I speak, these Edomites are preparing to reclaim Esau's birthright. That's what the goal has always been. All right? This is the very birthright which Esau had sold to his younger brother. And at the same time, they're trying to secure his rulership forever. Like I said, Esau's rulership is failing. Okay? His empire is failing. And they know this. This is where you hear the term "make America great again." They know that America is an empire. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to bring that power back. They're trying to hang on to that rulership forever. They believe the elites, all right, the elite families, they believe they can do this through changing the genetic makeup of humanity, right? Because what I told you that they know the Israelites have been scattered all around the world. You see what I'm saying? So this is the means to do it. They're going to change the genetic code, the makeup of humanity, and finally eradicate his little brother, man. You see what I'm saying? They're going to try and eradicate the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. This is why you see them abusing the so-called black and brown people the way that they do. All right, through violence and deception. This is why they're getting ready to destroy the world economy. This is why they're destroying cities right now and building smart cities to replace them. This is why they're going to force the world to implant this artificial device underneath the skin. You see? This is why. Because Esau wants the birthright back. You see? All right, so I'm going to get two more precepts and I'm going to close it out. So this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. It reads, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold into the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." One more precept. This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 8. It reads, "For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses, for the controversy of Zion. All right? And who is Zion? The Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians. All right? So the answer to the woman's question, it's not about melanin. It's about lineage. You see what I'm saying? It's not about black skin. It's about a birthright. And Esau wants it back. And we're about to see him fight for it one more time. So it's about to get ugly out here. It's about to get real deadly. All right, but you know why this is happening. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.